What if the most unforgettable love story of a generation was never told through words, but through a single dance? The music had barely begun when the room changed. Not with noise, not with applause, but with a silence so reverent it felt sacred. In that suspended moment, as Lee Min-ho reached for Song Hye-kyo's hand, something extraordinary happened. Viewers did not just watch a wedding dance. They witnessed the release of years of longing, speculation, heartbreak, and hope collapsing into one fragile, breathtaking scene. This was not spectacle. This was not performance. This was history moving in slow motion. As the first notes echoed through the hall, there were no dramatic gestures, no rehearsed smiles, just two people standing impossibly close, eyes locked, breathing in sync. The kind of closeness that cannot be faked, the kind that comes only from surviving storms together, both seen and unseen. The world had imagined this moment countless times. Fans wrote stories. Editors created fantasy montages. Rumors tried and failed to turn imagination into truth. And yet, nothing prepared anyone for how real it felt when it finally happened. If you are still watching, subscribe. Let's get the story started as the world of your favorite celebrity unfolds.
Stay tuned.
Song Hye-kyo moved first, softly, almost hesitantly, as if grounding herself in the reality of the moment. Lee Min-ho followed, his hand steady at her back, not guiding her but protecting her. The dance was simple, intimate, unrushed. It did not ask for attention. It commanded it. And then something remarkable occurred. People began to cry. Not from shock, not from excitement, but from recognition. Because in that dance lived every love story that almost didn't survive. Every quiet promise kept behind closed doors. Every sacrifice made far from cameras. The way Song Hye-kyo leaned into him spoke of trust rebuilt. The way Lee Min-ho smiled, not at the crowd but at her, spoke of a man who had finally arrived where he was meant to be. Those watching noticed the smallest details. Her fingers tightening slightly when the music swelled. His breath catching when she rested her forehead against his chest. The brief laugh they shared when they nearly missed a step, reminding everyone that perfection was never the point. This was not choreography. It was memory. Industry insiders later whispered that no one in the room expected the emotional impact to be so overwhelming. Staff members wiped their eyes. Guests looked away, embarrassed by their own tears. Even the music seemed to soften, as if aware it was accompanying something fragile and sacred. For years, both stars carried the weight of public expectation. Their names were brands. Their lives were narratives shaped by others. And yet, in this single dance, all of that dissolved. There were no icons here. No legends. Just a man and a woman choosing each other in front of the world. The significance went far beyond romance. This was a moment of redemption. A declaration that love does not expire. That private battles can lead to public grace. That even under relentless scrutiny, something pure can survive. Fans across the globe replayed the footage again and again, each time discovering something new. A glance held a second longer. A smile that trembled. A tear Song Hye-kyo brushed away quickly, as if unwilling to let the world see just how much this meant to her. And perhaps that is why it resonated so deeply. Because it was not loud happiness. It was earned happiness. When the music faded, there was no immediate applause. People needed a moment to breathe again, to return from wherever that dance had taken them. And when the applause finally came, it was thunderous, not celebratory, but grateful. Grateful to witness something real. In an era where everything is filtered, edited, and controlled, that wedding dance became a rare gift. A reminder that love, when it is true, does not need explanation. It speaks in movement, in silence, in the way two people hold each other when they believe no one else exists. Long after the lights dimmed and the guests departed, that dance remained, etched into memory, shared across screens, passed from fan to fan like a quiet miracle. Because some moments are not meant to be reported. They are meant to be felt. And on that night, through one simple dance, Lee Min-ho and Song Hye-kyo reminded the world why it still believes in love. And yet, what followed after the final step may have been even more powerful than the dance itself. As the applause finally rose, neither of them moved right away. They stayed exactly where they were, foreheads touching, as if stepping apart too quickly might break the spell. In that lingering pause lived everything the cameras could not fully capture. Relief. Gratitude. The quiet disbelief of two people realizing that a chapter once imagined had finally become real. Observers later said it felt as though time slowed deliberately, giving the world permission to absorb what it had just witnessed. Lee Min-ho was the first to speak, though no microphone could clearly catch his words. Those closest to the stage noticed Song Hye-kyo's eyes widen slightly, followed by a smile that trembled at the edges. Whatever he said was not meant for an audience. It was meant for her alone. And that, more than anything, deepened the emotion in the room. Because love, when genuine, always creates a private world even in the most public spaces. The crowd eventually settled, but the energy never returned to what it had been before. Conversations shifted. Laughter softened. People moved with the awareness that they had just seen something unrepeatable. This was not a viral moment manufactured for views. It was a memory unfolding in real time, never meant to be perfect, only honest. Across the globe, reactions poured in. Fans spoke of crying without understanding why, of feeling healed by a story that was not their own. Some said the dance reminded them to believe again. Others said it gave them permission to let go of bitterness they had carried for years. It became clear that this was never just about two celebrities getting married. It was about endurance. Both Lee Min-ho and Song Hye-kyo had walked long, solitary paths under unforgiving scrutiny. Their successes were celebrated, but their vulnerabilities were consumed. Every relationship dissected, every silence questioned. And yet, somehow, they arrived here with tenderness intact. That is what made the moment extraordinary. This was not the beginning of a fairy tale. It was the continuation of two lives that had already survived reality. Later that night, as images from the wedding circulated, fans noticed how neither of them looked outward in the photos. Their focus never drifted toward cameras or guests. Again and again, their attention returned to each other. A quiet confirmation that the spectacle was never the point. The dance would be analyzed endlessly. The music choice debated. The expressions slowed down and studied frame by frame. But those who truly felt it understood something deeper. What moved people was not the romance. It was the peace. Peace after storms. Peace after loss. Peace after learning how to stand alone before choosing to stand together. In the days to come, headlines would fade and new stories would rise. But this moment would resist erosion, because it carried something timeless. The understanding that love, when it arrives after struggle, does not announce itself loudly. It whispers. It holds. It stays. And long from now, when this era of entertainment is remembered, this will not be recalled as just a celebrity wedding dance. It will be remembered as the night the world watched two guarded hearts finally rest. Not in perfection, not in fantasy, but in each other. Thanks for watching.
Please subscribe.